Covering the Universal Orlando Resort for over 5 years, you are listening to the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 192 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. My name's Hunter, of course, and with me today, I have Darren.
What's up, Internet?
Darren, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You know, you sound so good coming through my headphones right now. Let's hang out soon.
Let's do that.
All right. How you doing, Lee?
I'm good, thanks. I'm not quite sure what just happened there, but whatever. There's like some bromance
Nice to have
stuff.
you on. Let's hang out soon.
We should,
And
actually.
finally, yeah, let's make plans. And Tracy,
Hello!
how you doing, dear?
I'm good, how are you?
You excited to be here?
Very. Always.
Oh man, this is probably going to be. This is our redemption episode. This is us making up for the bathrooms episode. We're actually going to have serious topics, serious discussion, and we're really going to get in depth with this one. We hope you good listeners like it. So this week, our topic of discussion, and we'll get into it shortly, is the top 5 queues of the Universal Orlando Resort. Hope you guys have a good list.
Yes.
Excited to see if there's any divergence, but I think we'll probably all have the same top 3 or so.
Well, let's see.
Lee, if you put Rip Ride Rocket on your list,
No, I said last week that wasn't going to be anybody's lists.
I'll tell you, Asta.
Ha ha.
Real quick before we get into that, don't forget that April is the month for the United States sector of you listeners for you to go and leave us an iTunes review. If you go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, and leave a rating and a review, which I guess you don't even have to use iTunes to leave a review.
No.
Anyways, if you do that, you'll be entered into a drawing at the end of the month to win a $25 Universal gift card.
Yes, you will.
Seems like a bargain. 2 minutes on iTunes and potentially get $25 gift card.
Man, you ain't even got to take 2 minutes. Just write that this is the best show ever, and you've done your job.
Yeah.
We'll put you in there. We won't
Sounds
even
like a
take
good
your
deal.
kidneys.
I think we've had a few in so far.
We have. We have. Thank you.
I like
Any
reading them.
positive ones?
All of them.
Nope.
Some of them positively hated it.
No.
Let's go on ahead and move on into our main topic of the show, which is, once again, the top 5 queues of Universal Orlando.
Excellent.
So, Darren,
What up?
I'm thinking how we're going to go. Let's just maintain a constant rotation, because otherwise it gets kind of weird.
Okay.
Let's go Darren. Let's go Tracy. Let's follow up with Lee, and then I will give my thoughts before I introduce the next section.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Go on ahead, Darren.
All right. Well, number 5 was kind of tough for me to pick, actually. I was kind of going back and forth between Spider-Man and The Simpsons because the reason is there's not a lot going on in the queues in either of them, but I think they're better than the majority of everything else. There are ones I'd rather be in. I finally settled on Spider-Man, however, because I love those 80s cartoons.
Interesting.
Was it 80s or was it early 90s?
Well, it's 90s, yeah. You're right. Early 90s cartoons, there you go.
Regardless.
This is going to be an interesting top 5.
Now,
Okay.
Darren, just popping in real quick. Amazing Spider-Man actually has my favorite, one of my favorite all-time boarding videos. I think that video is hilarious.
Yeah.
Just one of my top 3 Q videos. I'd probably put it number 2, actually.
An interesting little detail on that, I don't know whether you guys have actually noticed that I did the last time we rode it, is that everywhere on that ride it refers to the car as the Scoop, other than that boarding video which refers to it as the Spider, the Spyder.
Yes.
And I can't find...
That was a Mitsubishi licensing issue. I don't know how that got into the video.
'cause I can't find. It's an acronym though, because it's like an
Yes.
S.P.Y.D, but it's
right,
I
yeah.
can't
It's
find
like,
any
yeah.
reference to it on the internet or anything, or why it's called one name and not the other.
We never
It's
thought
almost
to
as
ask
if no
though,
one
did we?
cares.
Just thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Disney
no,
would never
definitely.
allow that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but the reason I finally settled on Spider-Man was because they do have those couple of themed rooms, and there's a photo op in the line, which is kind of cool.
Mm.
This is true.
I'm finding it really hard not to comment without giving anything
I
away.
know.
But I'm going to hold
Tracy,
my tongue.
what's
Yes.
your number 5, dear?
My number 5 is Revenge of the Mummy.
Really?
Mm,
I am surprised that you've got that so low down.
really?
Yes.
Really? You haven't seen what else is on my list though.
But I know how much you talk about the Mummy.
Well, I do like it. I love it. I love the queue. You know, you've got all the artifacts to look at, and there's when people can be bothered to interact with each other, there's the interactive stuff.
That's a weird one,
You
that
know.
though, is it? Because unless you know about it, it's just
I know.
a thing.
I know. And it's fluky if it happens together. And sometimes you have team members in there.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it's disappointing they don't do that all the time.
But I didn't think it was the most exciting of all queues.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I
That's my
find,
number 5.
Okay.
again, it's difficult to comment without giving hands away. I feel like I'm going to end up getting chastised for this now. My number 5 is the E.T. Adventure.
No, that was my number 6. So,
That low down. It's one of those that we've talked
but
about it
E.T.
quite a lot. Yeah, but
I know.
I've even commented on it before that ride opened with the park, yet it's still one of the most elaborately themed queues in that park, and it's been open for, what we on now? 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is cool leading up, going like through obviously the first bit's crap, the outside portion of it. But once you get past, I'm trying to think, is it past the where you give them your name?
Right past that point. is
Once
where
you
get
pass
into the
that and you
forest.
get into the fight, it's cool. It's awesome because it does. I've always said before, like I've said to you guys, what I love about the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. I love that indoor-outdoor thing where you're indoor, but it's you're made to feel like you're outdoor. And that's
Right.
what I love about the ET queue. And it just, it slowly immerses you in it till you get on those bikes, and the smell and the little artifacts from the film and stuff like that is cool.
And we're going to revisit E.T. later on. Just while you brought it up, E.T. for me really shows it's Universal's last really example of a classic queue, what you would find in a theme park from what you would find in almost like a Disney theme park from the 70s, 80s, or 90s. It's kind of the last place where you can see a queue like that. So I think it deserves a nomination just on that alone.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's a themed queue before themed queues were a thing. You know, themed queues are, everyone expects them now. And you're talking about one that was built 26 years ago. But there you go. I thought you'd all
true.
come down on me for that being so
No,
low down.
that was a serious contender for me at one point.
Yeah, but I expected most people to have it higher, but we'll see. You obviously haven't got it at all.
And so real quick, hopping in here, Tracy, you've actually got me with this one. Revenge of the Mummy was actually my number 5 as well.
Really?
The reason it is so low, relatively speaking, I mean, this is still top 5. It doesn't really have an overarching narrative or one that makes sense. So you're outside, you're going into this history museum. Then you're on the set of them making this upcoming Mummy sequel. Then you're kind of in Imhotep's tomb, but it's supposed to be a movie set inside the Natural History Museum. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of confusing sections of that queue. It doesn't have a flowing narrative, and that's why it's so low on my list. But the reason it is on my list is once you're actually inside the tomb, it's very, very well themed. There's a lot of interactive elements that I'm really fond of. And I've always had this thing for adventurous queues, the best example of which is going to be Temple of the Forbidden Eye. But this, takes that and puts it with the Mummy franchise, and I'm just very fond of it.
Okay.
Cool.
Darren, what's number
Well,
4, buddy?
Well, let's just keep talking about the Mummy. That's my number 4.
I am surprised you've got it that low.
Yeah. Well, my personal favorite part of it is actually the loading area, or right before the loading area, where you walk up the stairs and you see the big statue of Anubis, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. That is just awesome.
And
It's
it's
an
huge.
excellent view that a lot of people, I think, just discount and go right through because just how dark it is. But when you take it back and look at the scale of it, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that area, and then the interactive elements are fun, every time we do it, especially because when we're running through the queue, there's usually not a lot of people in there, so we have time for you to run around to the other side and do the hand
Yeah.
thing where you put your hands on the plates or that kind of thing, and also having other people see that and figure it out is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat, and then that scare element, when it does work, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. I haven't seen that work for such a long time because people aren't.
No, and the queue's
Getting it.
usually not long enough that you can, like you said, that one of you can run around one side and the pair of you do it. It's awkward, or you try and do it and try and sort of get someone else on the other side, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What you doing?"
Yeah, if the queue is long enough to be there, I'm usually not there. I was like, okay, I'll come back some
Yeah.
other time. But if it's, I'll watch people on the other side and see if somebody puts their hand on it, and then I'll do it real quick.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, really. But
Speaking of that, Anubis, it's one of my favorite souvenirs is actually in the Mummy gift shop. They sell this little black Anubis plush, and it's adorable. I think everybody should have one. It's like
Aw.
$12. There's worse ways to spend your money.
Exactly. What a cute little god.
I know. And then they've got a little black cat next to it. Perfect. It looks great in your living room. Give me your kidneys.
We actually have an Anubis statue we got in Cairo.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
We got it from
Giza.
in front of the pyramids,
Where the pyramids are?
not Cairo.
Giza, Cairo. It's all Egyptian.
And send your hate mail to speakpipe.
We stayed in Cairo. It's only round the corner,
Along with all the other Egyptian
Next-
crap we bought when we were there.
next to McDonald's and KFC.
I was going to say, there's that Pizza Hut right across the street.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a full works. There's all of them. Actually, it's not as close as you think. It's more over by the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Like a big
Yeah.
parade of shops in front of the Sphinx.
Yes.
And Walt thought Disneyland was bad with all the close by
Yeah.
locations.
Yeah. So,
What can we put next to these pyramids? I know. How about a Pizza Hut? That's beautiful, Janice.
Who the hell's Janice?
Egyptian planning officer.
Maybe.
Where was that in the Mummy Universal? Will that be in the Tom Cruise reboot?
That's where all their budget went. CGI and all those shops out the way. Get rid of that McDonald's,
Oh.
a Burger King,
I
a
thought you
Pizza
were-
Hut.
We're talking about going to the McDonald's and the Burger King and the Pizza Hut.
No.
Originally, Tom Cruise was going to be in the original film, but they spent it all on Pizza Hut, so they had to get Brendan Fraser.
Maybe apparently they changed it to Taco Bell for the American version.
Like 2 people are going to get that.
I know, but it's funny, isn't it?
Thomas J is sitting back like, ah.
I wonder if they changed the ride out, though. I wonder if at the end of the video changes. Like that end video as you're coming back in. I wonder if it's going to be Tom Cruise now.
Be interesting.
I'd like to see the ride in general touched up. I mean, we've all talked about it. It's one of the best rides on property. I just want to see some work done to it.
That hasn't
Would
had a
have been a lot
refurb for
better if
while.
I got my cup of Dianetics.
Maybe they'll just change it and he will get his cup of coffee.
Yeah.
No, that's caffeine. Not allowed.
They go, maybe this interview would have gone a lot better if I'd have got my... Oh, there it is. Cheers.
Actually, from what I understand, Cruise is actually a pretty okay fellow. So he's, excuse me, I've been waiting for this coffee. Can I please acquire it?
No, he'd have been like, I'm actually quite happy that I haven't got my cup of coffee yet. Could I have it in 5 minutes, please?
And then he's jumping on a couch
I was
and
gonna
Oprah's
say,
there.
yeah.
It's a
So excited
great way to
when
end
it
the
arrives.
ride.
Anyway,
Universal's like, you want audio animatronics? Here's Tom Cruise jumping on a couch.
whose go is it next?
Mine.
It's Tracy's.
Just riding it out.
We're still on number 4, aren't we?
Yeah. It's Wednesday now. So my number 4 is Spider-Man.
Wow.
So, yes. What are my reasons?
I don't know.
I don't know
Or could we
myself. I
say-
love it. You know, I like the fact that for all we've written it many times, we can always still find something new in there because there's a lot of props. They do need to replace a lot of the food because it's all grey and dusty. You know.
There's a donut on a bench that looks like a grey turd.
There is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's Hello Kitty Chow. We talked about that in the last episode.
But I guess my main reason for it being so low on my list is I just rated the other ones higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy it. I like the fact that put in the element where you can have your photograph
Yeah.
taken and you don't lose your place in the line. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
I actually think it's a
Yeah.
queue that benefits if you happen to get through the extended queue, because the outside portion is quite cool because you get to see the
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson statue that at any other point you're never going to see, which is such a shame. I don't understand why it is where it is.
There are certain aspects of the queue that sometimes can be a bit boring. Like there's a load of switchbacks.
It's all boring.
We've done all of the switchbacks
Yeah.
at one
Yeah.
time. After we've queued outside, there's like the big hauly bit with the model of the scoop
I
and
seem
stuff.
to remember doing it
and
with
it's-
Darren.
And there's
Yeah.
the press penny machines in the corner of that one. And there's not a lot to do in that room. There's a hell of a lot of switchbacks in that big room.
And yeah, you are going to be seeing that video quite a few times
Yeah.
if it's that bad.
Yeah.
So
But when you go through the offices, there's so much to see. It doesn't matter whether you go the queue's going at half a mile an hour. You still don't seem to have enough time to take it all in.
That brings up Hunter's point with that bit with the video as well, is that it totally juxtaposes itself, the queue videos, and then you go on the ride and it's much more photorealistic-ish.
mm-hmm.
Well, it is what it is. So that's my number 4.
We'll revisit Spider-Man later, I'm sure. My number 4 is The Mummy. Funnily enough, Darren, I was on the same lines as you.
Mm-hmm.
When I started to do my top 5 list, I literally went round the parks and just went, right, what queues do I like? And I was left with 5. So it was quite an easy list. It was then just a case of putting those 5 in order. The Mummy, I agree with what Hunter said. When I think about it a bit more, it is a queue of 3 parts. I think if you manage to get, without going through the extended queue, so like through the Museum of Antiquities or wherever it is, if you can go in sort of what the main entrance is rather than that one off to the left where you go through, there's like
Which is
weird
actually the
little
proper entrance.
switchbacks with the sort of prop stuff around the outside, and go through that bit, then the queue is fantastic. If you go through that, there's nothing in that other bit worth seeing, really. I think we've only ever done it once, which was last time we did it. But once you get into that tomb section with the interactive elements and stuff, it really sets the scene for the rest of the ride at that point.
And obviously, the queue is a carryover from when it was Confrontation. They almost had to do a Dueling Dragons with it, where they're covering up the subway station.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the tram station, excuse me.
Okay. I never thought about that.
It's just interesting how the ride is excellent, and I honestly think, well, we've talked about it, it's one of the best rides on property, but the queue is horribly disjointed.
Yeah.
But the tomb section is still themed enough for it to make the list. And I'm not sure if that's an indicator of how poor some of the queues are at Universal, unfortunately, or if it's really a great queue.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to make that decision.
It's just that awkward problem of trying to tell a narrative story through a queue, because if the queue's not long enough, if the line's not long enough, then you're not going to see it. So you're not going to have any idea.
But that queue is long enough if you're going through the main cinema entrance.
But no, I mean the line. If the line's long enough for you to get through and actually be able to watch all those videos to understand what's going on, which it very rarely is.
Yeah, but you've got to do environmental storytelling as well. I mean, we can't put this one on the list because it's long gone, but look at Dueling Dragons and what they were able to tell in their queue with just simple moments and environmental cues.
See, I think arguably if that ride's queue was what it was, I think that would make most people's top 2
Oh.
in this list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never. It was never even a consideration.
No,
for
because
me.
it was phenomenal.
Yeah. And they just stripped it.
And now it's, honestly,
A shadow
really
of its
is.
former
it's
self.
terrible.
I mean, it has its moments. You see the goblet, you see the Triwizard Cup.
Apparently there's a lot
but
more to
everything
it
else
than
is
you
just black.
realise.
Wait, what now?
I know people who've been through that queue with a torch, and there's a lot more in those rooms than you can actually see because it's so dark. Apparently there's like tapestries in there of all the Hogwarts houses and stuff. It's unfortunately because it's badly lit, you don't get to see it, but there's
That's
a
a
lot
shame.
more to those rooms than you realise.
Yeah, well, the problem with that, it's funny because this relates to Mummy when we're talking about Dueling Dragons. They've put the Dragon Challenge queue in that building when that building makes no sense geographically with the rest of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It makes no sense where you're entering because obviously you're supposed to be entering through the Triwizard tent, and I think if that would have been the facade, the queue would actually be a little bit stronger, but they're just making do with what's already there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was unfortunate they had to shoehorn it into where they put it in, you know. It would
Which,
have been
like I
Right.
said, this kind of relates with Confrontation and Mummy. The two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it's funny because Tracy and I are in agreement again
Yeah.
with the Amazing Spider-Man. But what's fun about this is Tracy and I's number 5s became y'all's number 4s and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't got Spider-Man on my list yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Amazing Spider-Man.
Excellent.
The Q, as a comic book geek / fan / just a general Spider-Man fan, there's a lot of little things in there. There's a certificate of excellence that's in there. I believe the last name that it's addressed to is Lovelace. That's really, really funny. I'll try to find a picture and post it in the Producers Club group, but there's a lot of little in gags and jokes that I really, really like in that queue. It does need some touching up, though. And what I mean by that is the animation, which Darren brought up previous, is a holdover from the 90s. And unfortunately, the villains that we see in that pre-show video do not match the villains we actually see in the ride now.
Yeah.
Dr. Octopus is now wearing his Spider-Man 2 trench coat style outfit versus the yellow and green outfit he's wore in the animated series.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that. But I don't think you can go wrong with the queue. It's a lot of fun, minus the switchbacks. It could be themed. There's some extra things that could be themed in there. I wish there was more interactive elements. But as a comic book fan, there's enough Easter eggs and little things to make me put it on my list.
Right. I'll throw my opinion in on Spider-Man then, seeing as though it's not on my list.
At all.
Ooh.
At all.
Ooh.
I think the Daily Bugle office bit's superb. That's about it. Like we've said previously, that room with the big scoop vehicle is boring as hell, and then the next bit's just going through and picking your glasses up. The outside bit's all right because it's a bit comic booky and you've got that statue, but nothing else does it for me. That press penny machine in the corner never works because someone's jammed coins in it. I think the last time we went, someone had jammed something in it.
Thankfully, I do have them all.
But
so
yes,
I'm all
I
right.
told you my list was going to be controversial. It is not on there. That's why I was surprised when you two came up with it because I don't think it's that good. I'm surprised it makes you top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know I'm the controversial one.
Well, go on ahead with your number 3, Darren.
My number 3 is E.T.
Oh, that high up.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. I love I mean, they even got the smell down, like in that queue.
Yeah.
It is. You got like that fresh air and pine kind of smell. And I love when Britannicus pops up. It's pretty awesome. And then again, one of those areas where it's the longer part of the queue you don't see very often, but when you do, they've got a lot of cool stuff in the other areas as well.
I've said my feelings on it. I love it, and I think it's a themed queue before
Yeah.
themed queues were a thing. It is the original themed queue,
It is.
Definitely.
and it leads you up to getting on those bikes where you feel like you're outside. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Tracy's like, I don't like ET, so I can't bring myself to say anything about it.
Yeah.
It's number one. That's why she's not saying anything.
Bugger you.
Well, go on ahead. Tell us what's yours, Tracy.
I have no idea what your top 3 is, I'll be honest.
My number 3 is... Oh, just quickly. They're all dancing. The top 3 keep changing. Gringotts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sticking with what's on my list. Gringotts.
That low, huh?
That atrium is stunning.
It is.
The chandeliers that are sparkling, the beautiful tile work on the floor, the amazing animatronics. You know, it is. You don't know where to look with that. But for me,
And then the rest of it's kind of...
that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you've got the little corridor where they try and get you to have a photograph
That's
taken. And
crap.
you've got a few screens, and it's you might hear a voice, and there's a few shadows and things. Once you've done it, and then you're on the. Say that the elevator, that is
Yeah.
by far the best version of that I've ever seen. That's
Yeah.
done properly. That's
Takes what
cool.
they did with Men in Black and made it so much better.
Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant. But then, as Jade always complains, why are we going up some stairs? And she's right.
In the
You
words
know.
of Jim Hill, you're telling me you couldn't have stopped it a couple of extra feet earlier? Or
Well, exactly.
been these stairs?
It doesn't make sense.
Oh, we got to have this bottleneck here, people.
Well, it
It is
For
like...
me, my biggest problem with the Gringotts queue is you go downstairs to leave Gringotts.
Yeah. And you go upstairs to... Yeah, we've said that. It's
Very
just
minor,
bizarre.
nitpicky things, obviously, that
So-
most people aren't considering.
Yeah.
They just want to ride the damn ride.
yeah.
But me, I'm always walking down the stairs and I'm like, okay. And then you go down a slope
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, okay, now we're back in Diagon Alley. Magic.
We've
Blue
come like
power.
3,000 miles up from the deepest vaults of
Yeah.
Gringotts on a couple of steps and a slope.
I liked it, but not enough.
I'll jump in with my number 3 then. And my number 3 is also Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts.
That's what it's called. I couldn't think of the full title.
For those exact reasons, like the extended queue's horrendous.
Yeah.
If you end up in like
Nothing
that
to go there.
outside section out the back.
I don't think
then-
it's any worse than the greenhouse. And
No.
I don't think it's any worse than the extended queue for
anything.
a
I
mummy.
think it's worse. I think it's worse than the greenhouse. I will give it that. I will give it that it's a little bit worse than the greenhouse. You only have
think
one
so?
thing. At least in the greenhouse, you've got themed elements. They just parked the minecart out there.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah, I'll
well, you
agree
got
with
the
that.
signage. I really like
Yeah,
reading that
but-
signage
Yeah.
every time I'm back there.
Yeah, you'll enjoy reading it. The 75 times you'll pass by the same one.
Yeah.
If you were one of those
And then the
people,
guy is trying to squeak past you because his party's at the front of the line when you've been waiting for
Excuse me.
45 minutes.
Excuse me.
if you were one of those people like Gregory who was in that line for 6 hours on the first day, how many times have you read it then? But yeah, you know, that main sort of bank entrance is phenomenal. If you were judging the queues on one element alone, then Gringotts would be number one
Absolutely.
without a doubt,
Completely
because that
agree.
room is fantastic. Those animatronics, it's weird that we have the argument about screens and stuff, and they put arguably some of the best animatronics on Universal property in the queue line.
Yeah.
You know, the goblin at the front it's not interactive, but it feels it.
It's quite intimidating.
And then you've
I work in a retirement community.
Oh, pfft, I'm not quite sure
when
where
I
this
look
is
around,
going.
I'm just like, oh god, it's another day at the office.
Hunter's views are not necessarily the views of everybody else.
But if you think about it, that's kind of a smart place to put animatronics in this day and age. When you want the ride
Yeah.
itself to be more exciting, and you don't have space to, make it a huge, elaborate ride, and you're going to use screens to compensate for that, then why not have animatronics in the queue?
Yeah,
Or
I'll
why
go
not
with
tell it half the story in the queue to begin with?
Yeah.
With things like that, I think that's pretty smart.
No, that
I
makes
never really
sense.
thought of it like that, but
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing more and more parts of that, like Under the Sea Journey, the Little Mermaid ride has Scuttle
Yes.
and interact elements in the queue. I just think that those are really good examples, and it's funny that we're talking about Gringotts because Ariel, I think, is also another example of a great queue and maybe an iffy ride.
No, not maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, definitely. I love seeing the interactive elements and the audio animatronics in the queue.
Yeah.
I think you guys are all on the money with that.
But I think they spent all their budget on the queue on that section, and maybe the lift. The music.
Well, this is top 5 queues.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, the Musion effect. It's all right, but if you're like when with the kids with Jade being quite short, I'll be honest, she didn't really see the bit with Bill and
No, she didn't.
whatever he's called, Ragnarok or whatever it is.
And I don't understand how you can get the Musion technology so right with the Christopher Walken character and then be so inconsistent with everything after.
I think
Dumbledore looks great. The trio looks bordering on awful, and Bill and forgive me, I forget the other goblin.
No, I
just
can't
looks
remember what he's
mediocre. Boris. His name's
I
Boris.
can't think. But then, like the corridor, once you get out of that main atrium and you go down that corridor, it is just nothing. You've got one little section where they've kind of got like the shadows of the trio behind it, but it's that loud in that section that you can't hear what they're saying anyway.
No.
They force you in getting your picture taken at the bottom there to the point where we were like, look, I'm not doing it because I don't want to buy it anyway, so you can...
Yeah.
I just want to go straight through. And then you come out of the lift, and like you say, you've got to go all the way up, and it's a bloody curved staircase as well. But then the actual load station itself is fantastic. For what it's meant to be, it feels like you are in a cavern thousands of miles underground. I just think the core elements of it are fantastic. The bits in between are
interlinked
terrible.
bits. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why it's my number 3.
All right. My number 3, I'm going to buck the trend. It's going to be Men in Black.
Okay.
When the Men in Black queue is done properly, when you have a team member there who is really into the attraction and he loves and he knows what he's doing, and he does that reveal with the elevator, I think that deserves to be on the list by itself for just that. But when you look at the budget they were given for that ride and the things they were able to accomplish with the audio animatronic worms and the control center, I think it's a success on pretty much every front. Really, really fond of the ride, really gets you prepared to get... the queue really, really gets you prepared to get on the ride, and I think it's a success.
Yeah. No, agreed. I'm sure we'll revisit that queue
Yeah.
without spoilers.
Think so?
I'm actually surprised then by the comments already because I thought I was going to be in the minority.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we will tell you our top 2 queues of the Universal Orlando Resort.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th wonder of the world is returning to Universal Orlando Resort. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel take care of the resort reservation. They are a Universal Parks and Resorts specialist, as well as being an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the awesome Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando vacation needs. So, you don't need to miss the chance to see the amazing King Kong in the flesh. And please make sure to let them know that you heard about Fairy Godmother Travel because of UUOP. Because every UUOP referral helps us to continue to bring you the greatest Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone at 832-284-4002 or toll free at 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com.
Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get to it. Darren, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is The Forbidden Journey.
What?
What?
Ooh.
Gee,
There's gonna be a
and
fight.
I thought I was the controversial one.
Controversial.
I think we've all just
Good
give away
kid.
what our number 1 is, by the way. Go on, Darren.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very, very good queue. I can see why people would name it the best queue at Universal. Just personally, and this is just a personal opinion. It's not my favorite.
Every opinion
but yeah,
counts, even if it's wrong.
Yeah.
all right. But yeah, I mean, obviously the elements of the queue are amazing going through. They did very good justice to the movies, and I guess in some ways the books, because they have a lot of stuff, a lot of elements in there that didn't necessarily make it into the film. So that's another kind of cool element of it. But like I said, it's just not my number 1. I'm sure you guys are going to talk about it for a long time, so go ahead.
Fair enough.
What, Forbidden Journey?
Gracie?
Me?
Well, you've been flip-flopping over your number 1 and 2.
No, for the last few minutes I haven't. They're settled in.
Because she's like,
So-
I can't be as controversial as Darren is.
My number 2 is Forbidden Journey.
Really?
Really?
I'm sorry, I've got to say it. What the hell is going on?
Well, like Darren said, it's brilliant. Everything Darren said, I was just going, yes, agree, completely. When those areas of queues are full on, they're full on. But then there's areas where there's nothing doing. It's either full on or dead. And if it's a really hot day and you're in that greenhouse, just going up ramp after ramp after ramp with nothing to look at except for plastic plants, that kind of kills the mood a bit. So
and remember when they screamed?
yeah,
No.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. When it first opened, they actually
Mandrake
screamed.
screamed.
See, I would
Yeah.
rather have that.
They did. They've screamed when
Oh,
we've
no,
been
you
there.
really
No,
wouldn't,
no,
though.
we've never
think you
seen
would.
that.
I'm pretty
But
sure
there's
they
like
are.
there's like a
No.
7 there's like a 7 switchback area right there where you're going back and forth in front of them like
It's at
over
the
and
top.
over again.
No.
Because you go up that way and then you go
Don't
side
forget
on.
that attraction had been open 3 years the first
I've
time
definitely
we
seen
rode it.
screaming
Ah, yeah,
mandrakes.
I don't think we have. The only screaming mandrake you'll have seen is the one in Hogsmeade itself. I don't think we've seen them in the queue
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they-
whatever.
because I would like that.
But yeah, there's especially when you're outside, there's a lot of dead queue area. With so you when you're in certain areas, it's kind of like it's getting you pumped up for the ride, and then you come out into, we've got nothing to do for the next half an
Into
hour.
what?
Like into when you like the greenhouse mainly.
Yeah, but then.
And then
we're
after
not
that
having this
greenhouse too,
conversation.
that long hallway.
You've
That
got
goes-
you've got your house points, and you've got
The architect and.
forks with it. Well, not forks, but the what's it for Dumbledore's office and
Griffin.
Griffin. That's the word I'm looking for. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. It's above Gringotts because for me, Forbidden Journey feels like home.
It doesn't feel like my home.
Right? But it's probably because I'm a lot more familiar with that ride than I am Gringotts.
Yeah.
It's familiar, it's comfortable. I love when you're in the portrait gallery. And all the conversations. I remember doing that.
Yes, we've had those conversations.
And
Yes. Literally.
I love it. It just has downtimes that pull you out of it. Don't roll your eyes at me like the greenhouse, especially if it's
But
a full queue.
you keep going back to just the greenhouse,
Right, you
though, and you
forget-
haven't backed yourself up at any other point other than the
I
greenhouse.
can't remember any other.
Because there isn't any.
Right.
Hunter, if you say
right.
Forbidden Journey, we're done.
On a full queue day, on a very busy day, you can spend the majority of your time queuing in that bloody greenhouse.
I
Right?
have nothing.
It's bad enough trying to
The greenhouse
entertain
is-
2 kids. Never mind trying to entertain you as well.
You don't need to entertain me. I stand right. I will spend. This is what I do in the greenhouse, right? I stand there with my hands resting on the railings behind me, trying to flash my dark mark off to get people to comment on it, right? I will be honest, that's what I spend my time in that part of the queue doing, and no one
I
does.
just wear low-cut t-shirts and hope for the same effect.
That's not a dark mark, that's a brown stripe.
Nah.
And now I understand why Lee never responds to the questions I ask him in that queue.
Because I'm too busy trying to...
Pull.
Not pulling.
Lee, what's your number 2?
Mine also is not Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. It is Men in Black Alien Attack. Now, I actually thought I was going to be controversial by putting this so high up in my list. But as Hunter said, if you get that team member who does that pre-show well, it's arguably the second best queue in Universal, which we did for our meet last year. The guy, when we did the meet with everyone, he was, to use a kid's term, he was on
Did
point.
he
It was
know that
perfect.
we were there
no,
for that?
because
He
you
was
went
on
up and
point.
thanked him, and he didn't even have a clue why you were thanking him.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I forgot about that.
But then you've got like the first iteration of the moving elevator thing that they did on Gringotts and sort of ramped it up. The corridor, yeah, it's fairly bland, but if you take the details in, there's like the bulletin board with all the stupid clippings from the Weekly World News or whatever it is, and the door handles that if you turn them, something happens. The animatronic worm guys. The big control room with Wee Hank and Bob, as Darren likes to call them. But the fact that you can go down there as well.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off now that it seems to be one of those places that everybody knows about. So it's not that exclusive anymore that you've been down there.
We kept talking about it.
But it's just everyone seems
It's our fault.
Everyone seems to know about it now.
Yeah.
Whereas when we went down that first time, I was like, I feel really special I've been down here because I don't think anyone else knows about it. But it, as Hunter said, it does a great job of, even though it's not spoon feeding you the story, you know the story of the attraction before you get there, even if you just walk through it.
Right.
It does a good job of letting you know where you are and what's going to happen without you having to really take that much notice of it. And then the fact that when you're coming down the steps to the load area, you can see all the cars going out, and that gets you ramped because everyone's got the guns and everyone's excited, and it's just a fantastic queue. And then even the end where you come out and there's like the projection of the worm guy behind the door and stuff. But then I feel sorry coming down that ramp, listening to Men in Black by Will Smith over and over again. Especially when you do that thing. Can we just sneak across this bridge over here and go back on it again? Well, they told us we could last time. So we did, and we went and rode it again. So yes, that's my number 2. I'm shocked that I'm not the controversial one here.
I think you're all insane.
All of us?
All of you. All of you. I don't understand how we're going to skip or put Escape from Gringotts so low on y'all's list. Despite your opinion, Escape from Gringotts is my number 2. We'll start off with that. Despite of what you think of the ride itself, the queue is incredibly well done. Minus the switchbacks in the back, which we've talked about. Universal has never done successfully with an extended queue portion of a ride.
How can you? Well, it's the whole point of it is it's an extended queue.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Haunted Mansion. That doesn't mean the Haunted Mansion has a good queue. Even with the additions, I wouldn't argue that that's a good queue in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that's a mediocre queue.
Yeah.
This is an example of a queue that I really like being in. From the moment you actually enter into the bank itself and you get into that atrium, like Tracy said, and you've got the audio animatronics with the goblins, and you've got the giant chandelier, it feels like you were there in the movie. Minor quibbles, but this is more about the movie than the set they've actually put up. Very different from the Gringotts we saw in the first movie, but they made a lot of changes anyways.
Yeah.
I think it's a consistent queue. Once you get into there's one thing. Once you actually get past that and you go past the vaults, and then they do the weird picture thing. I wish you didn't have to do that every go around.
Well, you don't.
You do have Wait, go on ahead.
You don't.
No.
You can tell them after we rode it twice and we'd done it the third time, we just went, look, we don't want to do it. And they were like, okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'm just very passive aggressive, so I'm just going to bitch about it as you take my photo. You do set up the narrative of them breaking into the bank. You see them changing back into the trio after taking the polyjuice potion. You get that scene in the middle of the ride. Then you go into the Musion effects, and then you get into the elevator, which is awesome. But when you actually get to the loading area, you realize how massive of an area that really is.
Yeah.
You can look up, you can scream, it will echo for miles and miles and miles. I just think it's a very successful queue, and even though I am very, very lukewarm on the actual attraction itself, I think the queue is honestly a triumph.
But I think, like what you've said there, they've focused on 3 areas. The elevator, the load area, and the actual bank portion itself. And that's where they've spent all their budget. And everything else in between it's not even, all right, it's just, it's an afterthought.
Okay, so Men in Black, when you were in there and you're waiting to go onto the vehicle, the last quarter of that queue, there's nothing to it. After you get past the, what's the big hub area? Forgive me.
Yeah, just where we Hank and Bob are.
The Immigration Center. Thank you, Darren. Well, after you do that, you are just in a queue waiting to board. There's nothing there for you besides the guns and some vaguely sexually pleasing objects.
Yeah, there is. We commented on it the last time we were on there.
Yeah.
Alien
I
artifacts.
think the goblins, the atrium, the elevator, and Bill and the goblin scene more than compensates for any dull areas in the queue.
That's your opinion.
Even if it's wrong.
I think we're gonna find. I'm not gonna say anything. Doesn't matter. I think we're gonna find out why Men in Black's as good as it is in a minute. Anyway, but whatever. Or I might be wrong, and I've just made an ass of myself.
Again.
Tracy. Well, actually, Darren, hit me with your number one, buddy.
Don't let me
Number
down.
one. Well, first I'll tell you what my number one isn't. Gringotts. It is not. I don't think anybody is very surprised by that, but
It
Did
was
you have it on
number
your
one.
list at all, Darren?
it didn't make my list. No,
Wow,
And
that
here
does
is-
surprise me.
because the I don't know. It was really impressive the first time I went in and saw the bank room. That was impressive, and going around and seeing the animatronics, but. The animatronics, after a while, I mean, it's not like they're doing anything particularly interesting. They are filling out paperwork and occasionally glancing up.
Well, they're
I mean,
bankers. They're not going to be breathing fire.
Well, maybe they should be. I
dragon's
paid
job.
my money for top dollar entertainment. And that's what I demand.
Can I get a
Yeah, but no,
banker?
think about it. I mean, you're using this incredible technology, and that's what's happening with it. Like, I think there's just so much they could have done, like showcase the dragon somehow in that queue. I know, like, it wouldn't take.
You want them to Disneyland Paris. You want to walk past the dragon.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, exactly.
I understand the
Okay.
points you're making, though, Darren, but the fact that it didn't make your list at all.
Right, and then, well, here, let me continue. That photo opportunity area, that
Yeah,
wood paneled hell
Yeah,
that you have to descend
I'll
into.
totally agree with that.
Is personally, it's so boring, and the couple of effects that they have there with the windows, and that kind of thing is just not enough to keep me entertained. And with how detailed and how fleshed out the rest of Diagon Alley is, that really surprised me after we got through that hugely ornate original first area into that second area. So that was a big letdown for me. Third, the elevator. It's kind of a letdown for me too. Because the screens are just so small up at the top
Yeah.
that, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I would rather have seen them go more full bore with it and have a larger screen area so they could put some more interesting effects in there.
Which they could have
You know,
done
cool
quite
thing.
easily.
Yeah. And then the thing that I hate the most is when that opens up and you're in the cavernous area, and then they force you all together into just funneling into that one line. It's the Haunted Mansion times 10.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I was going to equate it to.
And I hate when a theme park leaves that to the people, because how entitled people feel, because everybody has paid a lot of money to be there.
Yeah.
But the entitlement that happens there just causes everything to get jammed up so bad, it's ridiculous.
And if you've been waiting in that line for an hour, you're frustrated already, and then people start pissing you off, barging you out the way because they should be the first ones to the stairs.
It's the locker room scenario.
Yeah. And then on top of it, how you guys said, it's weird that you go all the way down and then you have to go upstairs. The theming doesn't match up. To the actual experience. And I don't know if they could have done that any different, but it seems like you actually you do descend quite a bit on the ride itself as well. So why don't the elevators just open up into the load area? Why do you have that spiral staircase?
Probably because they need you to be on a higher level to allow you to be able to descend into the ride. If you think,
but I think you are until they do that thing, like, because that hallway that we said, like where the photo op is, and that it's going down.
Oh, you're right.
You're descending on the ground. So they are bringing you down to bring you back up again.
Yeah, you're
right. Which, I mean, it might be something that, to fit the ride into there logistically, it could be very valid that they have it there, but it doesn't make sense with the story they put together for it. And not a lot of people are going to think of that. They're just going to go on it and say, oh, that's cool, and be done with it. Not a lot of people care about the queue as much as the minority of people that are disinterested in the parks. But
for me, the success of the queue, or any queue, is successfully transporting you into a particular location or a time period, but usually a location. I know you're bored by the wood paneling, but that's supposed to be the office section of Gringotts. There's not supposed to be a lot to it.
But why does that make for an exciting queue?
It doesn't. I just think that it has its place in the queue.
But the fact that they had no point of reference in the films or books, they could have done anything they wanted to there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a section of the queue that could have benefited greatly by having something interactive. Let people put their... Well, I was going to say let them put their wands to use, but by then you've already put them in the lockers. Find some way for them to interact with. Maybe you have a goblin in there that you can talk to, like you do at the Gringotts Exchange, or you have
those shadows on the windows. I mean, they could have done a lot of cool gags with those.
Yeah. And I see what you're saying, but I just think there's a reason why that's in there.
That's what makes me laugh. Is that
there's just more they could do. They could plus it.
We're supposed to be on to number one, and we're discussing why one attraction didn't make Darren's top 5.
Well, I think Gringotts is the divisive one, because
I agree.
To the average guest, I honestly think Gringotts is kind of a letdown, especially when you compare it to Forbidden Journey. But I've never heard any complaints about the queue, regardless of what you think about the ride.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about that one. But then, I'll go ahead and tell you what my number one actually is. And that is Men in Black.
Awesome.
No, Transformers no, really, it's Men in Black.
No, Transformers is awful.
Yeah, that's another awful one. But yeah, no, Men in Black is my favorite queue in all of Universal. And it's part nostalgia, part because I love the movies. A big chunk of it is that immigration room.
Yeah.
But just that overall feeling, and I love the fake entrance, the World's Fair, entrance and that, and then having it switch over, access granted to the Men in Black headquarters.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of it. I think that is really cool. I think the queue is kind of whimsical enough, and there's enough small details in there to keep you entertained while you're waiting. The big video screen in the immigration room does a lot of that and does that well, and it's in a format that really it's good for when you have to sit when you're in that room for a long time. I love the weapon displays. I love any kind of prop display in a queue line too. So seeing that kind of thing is really neat to me. The videos, I love those, like the 1950 Atomic Age cartoon style video. You know, they have like
Doofus and
Yeah.
I can't. What's the other?
Yeah.
Do Right and Doofus,
Yeah.
isn't it?
yeah, and that kind of thing. And then that final room, actually, I love the final room, the loading room. It's just really cool to me how how they kept it open. I love the sky platforms, above where where you're actually loading, and just that whole thing, and how seamlessly the load area goes into the ride itself.
Yeah.
By starting off with the training facility and then going into the streets of New York. Like, I think that's just awesome to me. So
There's a reason why it's my favorite ride in those parks, and the queue has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool
Yeah.
if you could? Wouldn't it have been cool if you actually boarded on the streets of New York?
That could have been.
I'm just kind of
interesting.
thinking out loud, but still.
I do have an interview planned at some point with the guy who composed all the music for this. He is a
Nice.
listener to the show, which is freaked me out when he got in touch with us for the first time. But yeah, he said he'll come on at some point and talk about that, because I mean, Hunter, I think we've all talked about when it was on Season Pass when they did their Man in Black episode. But I want to get Andy on,
Yeah.
just him on his own, to sort of pick his brains about that music.
That would be very cool.
But yes,
That's such a good episode. I encourage anybody to find that. The Season Pass episode on the making of Men in Black.
yeah, it's quite
is-
an old
is
one at
really
this
incredible.
point. It's a couple of years. You're going to go back 2 or 3 years in their feed for it.
And I know Doug has actually archived a lot of the previous episodes. So I don't know if that one's still up, but
Well, if it's
if
not,
you can find it, listen to it.
if there's not, I can feel an even better interview coming on. Because I'm friends with Dave Cobb on Facebook. We could probably get him on as well.
Awesome.
But no, I don't. I'm surprised I put Men in Black in at number 2, and I thought everyone would be like, you're crazy putting that ride in so high up.
Yeah, no. It's just, I mean, it's good memories, and that, I think the competition and the skill aspect of that ride makes it, something that you want to go back on over and over, and you don't have a problem going through that queue over and over. Like, I always have a good time in that queue. So
It's funny, actually, Darren, you've made me think back to now when we did the Oscars and we did Best Attraction Storyline, that Men in Black overall probably has the best attraction storyline now. I actually said Green,
very
that's when we did
cohesive,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, from start to finish, because you start off that you're supposed to be going into the universe anew, and then you end up, it's a training thing, but then when you come out the other end and you get flashy thingy, and it's back into you being, are we alone in the
world,
universe?
yeah.
Of course we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does have a completely circular,
circle, yeah.
immersive storyline. Yeah.
So,
If that ride ever goes, I'm never going back.
yeah.
Walking Dead.
The show is
shove it.
over.
Yeah. Right. My number 1. It's not Rip Ride Rocket.
So you said Forbidden Journey was your number 2, and go on,
My number 1.
is
Men in Black.
no, that's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Men in Black. Everything
Nice.
Darren said. I've got nothing really to add to it. From the second that, as we all said, you get the right person right at the beginning. And that's just plussed straight away.
And it's just a shame they don't do it a lot of the time.
And from that point, you're just getting more and more pumped for the ride because you're passing things. And, as long as you're taking notice, doing things like getting the kids that have never done it before to rattle the door handles and stuff like that.
I mean, we got it with Jade, with the one that blasts air at you. Bless her, she was only 5.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I love when they do the first one, and then the second, like in that one, works, and then the second one's the fingerprint removal door,
Yeah.
and they're going, I don't know if I want to try that.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jade absolutely shat herself. She wouldn't go on the ride because of it. We had to drag her on
we
it
had
in
to
the end.
we had to
Oh
take
boy.
it to one side. But yeah, the ride, the queue line for me, it's just, it gets me more and more pumped up. There isn't a let up on it. Every time you turn a corner, there's a new scene unfolds. You're going up the ramp with the worm guys and the pin boards and the doors. And then you come out and you've got immigration. Yeah? You know, and that's...
Which is such a shame they don't do it how they did it when it first opened, that because of people...
Yeah.
That it was... I don't know whether people know it was originally the team members' break room.
Yeah.
So you would have had people dressed as Men in Black employees having their lunch down there. So it looked like a proper working area.
You know, I even like things like you got the curvy round things coming out the walls. That
I always touch them for some reason. I don't know sure why.
I'm pretty sure there's a really good explanation, but it's possibly not for this show.
I think Freud would tell me.
Yes. You know, even things down to like, it's memories as well. Going back to the first time I took the kids on, going, oh, what's happened at that locker where there's all
the stuff out the bottom of it.
You know,
yeah.
You know, and as I said, Do Right and Doofus, you've got these videos, even to the point where you do come out into the open loading bay. For me, even though, you can spend, probably no more than 10 minutes there, really. But for me, that isn't a down spot, if you know what I mean. Because you can see everything loading, you can see the people testing out the guns and getting excited, and that keeps your energy up. And if when you're coming down the steps, if you get, again, the right team member, there at the end, keeping that line buzzed and pumped up, you know, making loading fun. And then you've got the ride, which my favourite ride. You know, don't need to go down that avenue again. You know, and even coming out, and I'm sorry, but I dance down the ramp every single time. You know, you have to have a look at your photograph. Don't usually buy it.
No.
You know, go and have a quick browse at all the tat that's in the shop.
It's a shame they don't put the scores on them anymore, because the first couple of
shame.
times we went, they did do, and it's a shame they don't do that anymore.
Right.
But as has been said, it's a complete circle.
I agree with everything the pair of you have said, but I will bring up the point that we have discussed it on other attractions when you talk about extended queues, that if you end up outside in the extended queue, it is awful.
Yes.
Because there is nothing to that extended queue. It literally is just switchbacks outside.
It does have some shade, though.
It does.
Which is a plus.
But if you're stuck out there, it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you go
there
from...
are worse. I'm sorry, but Rip Ride Rocket has a worse main
we don't
queue.
even need to... That's not even...
I know, but that's the main queue, and it's worse than any extended queue.
I feel we need to follow this up with the
Seriously.
worst queues at Universal, because I think that could be a fun episode.
I think there'll only be one contender.
I need to think more about it.
Right. Transformers would be very close to it. Just cement walls and switches.
It's very claustrophobic.
So yes, my number one, Men in Black.
Oh, Lord. You three bath.
Oh, shut up, you. My number one.
How we can do a top five, and for this to have gone the direction it's gone, it's crazy.
No, I actually like it, because I thought I was going to be the one that would be different to everyone else, and it's good that I'm not. But my number one is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, without a doubt. I love Men in Black, but I don't see how you can say it's better than Forbidden Journey. Yes, the greenhouse is pretty poor. It could be made better by a couple of daft animatronics of mandrakes. I would have quite happily had the screaming. It would have given something to bash your brains out to.
I have remembered my reason for putting Forbidden Journey below Men in Black. It's one hell of a long queue, Forbidden Journey. Men in Black isn't that long. That was my reason. That was another factor for me.
But then you can't say that, because we all agreed that if Dragon Challenge, the Dueling Dragons queue as it was, would have been in our probably number one, and that was the longest queue ever created on this planet.
But I've never queued from that second that you walk through the wall all the way around.
I think Temple of the Forbidden Eye is like a mile long, if I remember
you're
correctly.
the only one that's ever ridden that, Hunter, so it's irrelevant.
Oh, it's so good. Please, everyone take a trip to California.
I can't even afford to go to Orlando. I can't go to bloody Hollywood.
We can't afford to go to a local seaside at the moment.
This is true. Can't even afford to go to Flamingo Land. Anyway,
Nobody can
I can't
afford to go
afford to
there.
go eat buffalo wings tonight. You don't hear me bitching.
you just did.
Well, it's because I had enough kidneys to donate.
Apparently, Hunter's got more than normal.
No,
oh,
you
well,
realise
no,
we haven't heard from
mind
Kim.
you, yeah, I haven't heard. Oh,
It's
Kim was
not
having
it.
breakfast this morning.
Oh, fattening her up.
But yeah, once you get into the actual castle, you know, the fact that I love the portrait room, the fact that they went out of their way to create the founders of Hogwarts, and those portraits are phenomenal
Absolutely.
because they look like oil paintings.
I just wish it was a little bit taller and we had the moving staircases.
Yeah,
I understand why they didn't do it, just because expense, but it's
Well, the way
incredible.
they could do those video screens inside Nocturne Alley, you'd think they could put some screens like that on the ceilings and
Yeah.
then use that to show the staircases moving above you.
that would be
You're
cool.
right, and add some additional height. You know, that's a great idea, Darren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you've got to look that
You have them occasionally.
we did virtually an entire show just going through the queue of Forbidden Journey
Yeah.
and acting out all the bits that you could. And there's a hell of a lot of scenes in that queue.
And you never get bored with it.
No, you've got, like you said, the portrait room, Dumbledore's office, the Defense Against the Dark Arts room,
Common room.
the Gryffindor common room. You've got the sorting hat. You've got the fat lady on the entrance
You
to that.
always complain about her.
It's just a phenomenal. I mean, even just take the Defense Against the Dark Arts room. If you look at all the artifacts in that room, especially now we know that there's a prop in there that was actually used in the film. You know, you've got the pensive and all the rest of it. It's just a phenomenal queue. It is. For Hogsmeade's the perfect precursor to the best queue on property into the best attraction on property. Mic drop, done.
Don't think it works.
Lee,
the
I'm
same
going to
mic
pick
drop.
up your mic and drop it again because how we can do a top 5 list and Forbidden Journey not be number 1 is crazy to me.
I agree.
Forbidden Journey really changed the game as far as theme parks in general. We haven't seen anything that's really changed the game as far as attractions since Forbidden Journey. Maybe we'll see that with Kong.
Hopefully.
Who knows? Hopefully. I hope it blows me away. The wonderful thing about Forbidden Journey is the entire land builds up to that attraction.
Yeah.
From the moment you walk through the correct entrance of Hogsmeade, yes, there's a correct entrance. It's the Lost Continent one.
Mhm.
To walking up to the castle, to going in the castle, all of it is perfect. Hogwarts looks amazing, and you definitely have to talk about that when you're talking about Journey because it's probably the most impressive facade you have ever seen for anything, much less a theme park attraction.
Yeah.
So for all the reasons that Lee mentioned and more, I definitely think Forbidden Journey deserves its place as number 1.
Put it this way, the fact that they made a queue that's just for going through the queue speaks volumes. The fact
You know,
that you
I
have
didn't
a
even
castle
think
tour
about
line.
that.
Yeah, I've only just thought about it there.
There's
But
a
the
queue
fact-
for the queue.
Yeah, the fact that they made a line just for you to be able to go through the queue and take it all in speaks volumes.
I don't disagree with you. I tell you, it's just memories and personal preference.
Yeah,
that make
totally.
Men in
Yeah.
Black number 1 for me.
I'm
Yeah.
with you, Darren. For me,
What?
Men in Black for me just evokes more emotion.
Then you're not as I think out of the four of us, Hunter and I are probably the bigger Potterheads out of the four of us. And I think that plays into it a lot.
Probably, yeah.
And I don't think it's only that, Lee. I also think you and I are very... Tracy and Darren, you guys can be sometimes a little bit more emotionally guided, while Lee and I are more looking at this really is groundbreaking and it deserves a nomination just for that.
Have you met me?
So,
What do you mean by that?
Have you met
What do you
me?
mean
I'm
I'm
saying you're
emotional?
not a true fan. I'm saying you're a bandwagoner.
How can you say I'm emotional?
I tell you, I'm the most emotional person on this.
I
Yeah,
know,
right?
but when it comes to these lists, I think you and I approach it a very different way than Tracy and Darren do.
Yeah.
So what you said is Darren and I are the parents and you two are the kids.
You two have looked
Or
at
maybe vice versa,
yeah,
actually.
you two have looked at
Maybe.
it from an emotional attachment point of
Yes.
view, whereas Hunter and I have looked at it more from technically
Accomplishment, technical.
and, yeah,
Geekery.
what is the
things.
best cue? Yeah,
Whereas I've gone very much with the memories that have
Yeah.
brought up and... Well, to be quite honest, one of the things when I was mentally walking through, it was the smile factor. How many times did I smile while I was thinking about it and remembering things?
but then
So
I
I
think
was
one of
very
the things that
emotionally driven.
spoils that Men in Black cue is the thing that makes it great. If that team member doesn't do that pre-show, you're left going into the rest of the queue a little bit bummed out, actually.
It's like getting on Jungle Cruise with a bum skipper.
Oh yeah, that is
It-
terrible.
But no, nostalgia plays a lot into everything.
course
But
it does.
as I said, like for me, the list was easy. It was just a case of putting them in
Mhm.
order. When I went through to pick, and I literally, I just went right. There's that one, and that. And I only came up with 5, so it was dead easy.
I came up with 10. I actually forgot about
10?
Transformers.
Transformers is terrible. It's not terrible, but it's.
I think Transformers deserves at least a nod because you have the, is that a churro? What do you think this is, a theme park?
Yeah.
It's, for me, compiling this list, Universal, their newer attractions, all of them have awesome queues, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's really, really iffy. Like, you're telling me that's the best they could have done with the River Adventure queue? I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
have the
terrible.
whole franchise of Jurassic Park.
Mhm.
And you know, it all comes down to budget constraints.
Of course it does.
I'm really interested to see what happens with the Hulk queue. I think they could do
Yes.
something special there. I just don't want to get my hopes up.
There's a lot of rumours flying around. We shall see. But I'm hopeful for Kong.
I'm really hopeful Darren and I come back and are just like, Kong is the best queue and probably one of the best experiences we've done.
I think it has the potential.
I think it has the potential just like Gringotts did, and that's why I'm trying not to.
Universal.
I don't want to build up false expectation.
Anyway,
I'm just thinking how interesting it was. I started off with 5 and 4. I agreed with Hunter. 3, I
Mhm.
think I was different to everybody, and then 2 and
You
1.
and I were 5 and 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
3, I think I was on my
Yeah.
own, and 2 and 1.
you were both
With
with Darren.
Yep.
I think that shows you
I just never agreed with you. Hey, what's changed?
what a good how well we gel as people, that we agree with each other, but also
Disagree.
Yep.
we agree with each other, and then you can have those conflicts where you
Yeah.
don't agree and stuff, and it's good. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
Forbidden Journey is the best queue. As said
Men in
by
Black.
me and Hunter.
Well, me and Darren said Men in Black.
We should actually get the listeners to actually send your top 5 in, actually, and
Yeah.
see if we can get a definitive list like we did. What did we do last time?
Toilets.
No, we did one last year, didn't we? The top 5 attractions, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So send your top 5 in, podcast@uuopodcast.com. And we'll just keep it going for as long as we can, and we'll see if we can come up with a definitive list of the top 5 queues, because I expected it to be fairly cut and dry, actually, but it isn't. We're kind of 50-50 at the moment.
All right. So that wraps up this episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Once again, we still need submissions for the Great Florian Fortescue debate. So go ahead and send those in to us at, what's the email?
podcast@uuopodcast.com.
Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Darren, what's the
Hunter.
SpeakPipe address?
Speakpipe.com/UUO podcast.
Or if you want to submit by Lee's method, just shout it into the wind. He'll get it. Somehow. Don't forget to go to iTunes in April if you are in the United States and leave a rating and review to go ahead and enter the draw.
Yes.
Once you are in this draw, we're going to give that gift card to a man in a yellow poncho. His name is Tony. He's going to be outside your nearest Home Depot. You're going to follow Tony across the street. He's going to lead you downtown. Once you go downtown, you're going to follow him down into the deepest, darkest alley, and you're going to go, hey, man, where's my gift card? And he's going to be like, what's the passcode? And you're going to be like, Lee didn't give me a passcode. And then he's like, I've got nothing for you, man.
No, the passcode is I could do this all day if you're down a dark alley.
So if you tell him that, what he's going to do then is he's going to give you your gift card and you'll be able to enjoy it. So have fun with that $25.
You'll wake up in the bathtub of ice minus a kid.
That we're selling to get us to Orlando.
Exactly.
It's GoFundMe.
So leave those reviews.
If that's not an incentive, nothing is.
I don't know what to do with that.
For Tracy, Darren, and Lee, my name is Hunter, and this has been episode 192 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
That's it for another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a rating and a review. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Play, and all your podcast apps. Email us with any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or even better, record your message at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Check out our blog for even more content at uuopodcast.com. And finally, our sponsors, Fairy Godmother Travel, are here to help with all your Universal vacation needs. So check them out today at fairygodmothertravel.com. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.